Hey everyone, welcome back. We need to talk about an important date coming up that's going to impact everyone living on a fixed income. Whether you're receiving Social Security retirement, disability benefits, survivor benefits, spousal benefits, supplemental security income, veterans benefits, or railroad retirement, this matters to you. Now I know what you're thinking. Didn't we just get the cost of living adjustment announcement last month? Yes, we did. But what's coming is something different, and honestly, it might make you feel some type of way. After covering benefits for years, I can tell you that this upcoming data is going to reveal a lot about whether we're really getting what we need or if we're getting the short end of the stick again. So here's what's happening. The October inflation data is about to be released. And I can already hear some of you saying, wait, didn't we already get the cost of living adjustment announcement? Why does October inflation matter? You're absolutely right. Technically, this data does not impact the raise we're getting next year. That ship has sailed. The Social Security Administration already announced the 2.5% cost of living adjustment for 2025, based on inflation from July, August, and September. But here's why we need to watch this October inflation number very closely. It's going to tell us whether we got a fair deal or not. Let me explain what I mean. The cost of living adjustment calculation uses 3 specific months: July, August, and September. Those are the months that matter for determining our raise. And during those 3 months, inflation conveniently came in relatively low. Not super low, but low enough to give us a measly 2.5% increase. But if we see the October inflation data show a massive uptick, a huge surge in inflation, then we should all be pretty upset because it means we're seeing a pattern here. It means that the 3 months that actually count for our adjustment just happen to show lower inflation. But then, immediately after, inflation spikes back up. It feels like we're being played with smoke and mirrors. Now, even though the October inflation number won't change our 2.5% adjustment for next year, it absolutely will impact our monthly benefits in a huge way through purchasing power. See, we get a fixed amount of money every month, right? Let's say you get $1,500 from Social Security. That $1,500 needs to cover your rent, your groceries, your utilities, your medications, everything for an entire month. But when inflation goes up, when we see rapidly rising prices, that same $1,500 buys less and less. Think of it this way. That dollar in your pocket today can buy you a certain amount of goods and services. But if inflation keeps climbing over the next few weeks and months, that same dollar might only buy you the equivalent of 95 cents worth of stuff, or 93 cents, or even less. That's the depletion of purchasing power. So even though the October inflation number won't increase our adjustment, it directly impacts how much our monthly benefit can actually buy. And that's what matters in real life, not the number on the check, but what that check can actually do for you. Quick side note, because this question comes up every single year around this time. The raise doesn't come until January. Every year after the official announcement in October, there are hundreds of questions asking where the raise is. So just to be crystal clear, the 2.5% increase will show up in your January 2025 payment, not before then. And speaking of that 2.5% raise, we need to talk about the elephant in the room: Medicare Part B premiums. For the lowest income beneficiaries especially, the Medicare Part B premium increase is going to eat up most of that pathetic 2.5% adjustment. So while the Social Security Administration is patting themselves on the back for giving us a cost of living adjustment, the reality is that many of you will barely see any actual increase in your net benefit after Medicare takes their cut. Give us a raise with one hand, take it back with the other. So here's what we're watching for. When the October inflation data drops, if inflation comes in low or moderate, then maybe the adjustment calculation was fair. Maybe we're actually getting a raise that somewhat matches the reality of price increases. But if inflation comes in high, if we see a big spike, then we'll know for sure that the 3 months they used for the calculation were outliers. We'll know that they cherry-picked the lowest inflation months to justify giving us the smallest raise possible, while inflation continues to rage everywhere else. Look, I want to be real with you for a second. Living on these benefits is hard.